Last week I was saying I'd rather stay at home and get a delivery, but to be honest, over the last few weeks I've really been analysing my spending. I've been doing a no spend March, and one thing that's really standing out like a sore thumb is my grocery spend. I don't think I can sit comfortably knowing I can get my shop just a little bit cheaper in Aldi. So I'm really considering heading back to Aldi. Last week I shared with you how I meal plan and create my shopping list. I'll link the video here. So in today's video I'm going to share with you 7 tips that I use in the supermarket to save money. If you like the sound of the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really keeps me going and it really helps get the video out there. I'm not shaming myself because I look like such a mess. I've decided to pop into Aldi today to get a couple of bits, and I wanted to take you shopping with me. I thought I'd share with you the choices that I make when I go shopping. Over the last few years, I really found myself trying to be as healthy as I can with most of the items that I'm buying. However, what I found is when I needed to reduce my budget, I found myself making swaps back to the old items that I didn't necessarily buy before. So an example here is sugar. Usually I would buy brown sugar, but at the minute we're buying white sugar because we feel that we get more for our money. Now I know it's not as healthy, but at the same time it lasts us longer, and to be honest, in the last year I now have 1 sugar in my tea rather than 2, so I'm hoping that'll help cancel it out a little bit. Another example as well is olive oil. Usually we love to have olive oil, but for now we've found ourselves getting sunflower oil because it just means that it can last a bit longer. So my daughter's currently in nappies, and one of the changes I made between having my daughter and having my son is actually buying Aldi's own nappies. Now I love their nappies, they really are absolutely brilliant, I cannot fault them. I found that when I had my son 8 years ago, I was always buying expensive nappies which cost a fortune. I thought at the time that I was making a saving by buying them in big boxes, but to be honest, I honestly can say I have not noticed any difference between buying Aldi's nappies and also buying branded nappies such as Huggies or Pampers. I can't actually quite remember which one it was. So over the last year, one of the changes I made was swapping from shop bought sauces such as Home Pride and Lloyd's Grossman to homemade sauces. And yes, I have to admit I am quite boring with my sauces and I'm still learning. But they're nice and they're healthy and I know exactly what's in them. Better still is I'm able to save money by using these sauces. In Aldi I would see some bolognese sauce for roughly 49p. To be honest, before I shopped in Aldi I would usually buy like Home Pride or Lloyd's Grossman, so it's definitely a huge saving. I would always try and buy it in offers, but it would usually cost me roughly about £1, and now I'm spending roughly 25p. So another tip that's really helped is swapping the types of snacks that we're buying. So usually I would buy bars of chocolate. My partner loves to have like a bar of chocolate each night, and you know I probably spend about £2-3 on buying chocolates each week, and that's dependent on if I'm having some as well. And then one of the changes I made when I wanted to really cut down on my spending was swapping to actually getting biscuits. And yeah, it's not the same, it's not a bar of chocolate, but 1 packet of biscuits, possibly 2, can last the duration of the week and often is less than £1 if I'm buying the supermarket's own. So another tip I always bang on about is swapping the cheese, because honestly it saved me a lot of money and I find I don't buy nowhere near as much cheese as I used to buy. So one of the changes we've made is swapping from grated cheese to blocked cheese, and yes, it is a bit of a burden when you're having pasta pesto or you know you're making a cheese sandwich and you have to grate it. But a little tip for you is maybe consider grating a big batch of cheese at the beginning of the week and then leaving it there for the rest of the week. Then that way you're making the savings still, but then you don't have to worry about grating every time you want to use the cheese. One thing I found as well is always definitely try and keep grating the cheese, because I found that when I was just slicing it off I would be a bit too generous with the cheese and then find myself eating a bit more cheese than I need to. This tip here is to get the supermarket's own brand. Now I have to admit, personally, I don't notice a difference when it comes to items such as rice, pasta. I don't really notice much of a difference, and if your budget is super tight, then maybe consider the basics, at least for some of the items such as pasta, because I really don't think it makes much difference at all. Looking at the price per the gram, 1 kilogram of chicken and 2 kilogram of chicken. Although there's not a massive difference in cost, this tip of actually looking at the price per the gram can have a huge saving on your budget. So whether it's cereals or rice, always having a quick look to make sure that you're actually choosing the one that's more cost effective. It may mean at the time that you end up spending a little bit more than you would like on that particular item, but you may find that it'll last you longer in the grand scheme of things. So there we have it, that's 7 tips to help you save money whilst you're shopping. I hope the video was useful for you, and if you got any questions, feel free to let me know. Maybe I'll do a part 2 to this. I thought it was quite useful, I thought it was quite interesting. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.